Hello and welcome to the Braintatos podcast, or Pod-Tato-cast.
Potato! Pod-Tato! It's like potato and pod!
Yes, yes it is.
How clever! Aren't they clever? Potato!
Yes, well done. Now sit down, shut the fuck up and listen.
Woo! Hey!
Hello.
Hello.
I remember being here.
Yeah, we're not dead.
No, we're not. We're just merely crippled after the old time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grim times. But our vocals have returned to your ears on this day to talk about whatever it is that comes to our minds.
Yeah.
And we both have something on a lot of people's minds for the past couple months.
Yeah.
I dare not say it, but it's Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, no.
We'll get to that ride in a minute.
Oh, absolute.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're still here though.
Exactly.
We just got to brush a lot of dust. Lots of layers of dust off.
Dust must be brushed, and then the comedy brush will come in to paint big smiles. And drama brushes will come to paint whatever relevant faces needed there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're going to try and make this a bit more active than, well, the last half of last year was.
Yeah. But still, here we be now, sat back on this rug, trying to counter the sound of traffic behind us.
Yes, we're trying to keep as much gaps in silence as possible.
In my ultra bent, I've just realised, sound booth thing. I don't know how that get bent. Never mind. It's just the pure gravitas of our voices combined. It's far too much. But yes, so right. You've seen Star Wars. And
I've seen Star Wars.
I've sort of seen Star Wars. I know the plot. I've seen bits on the internet. Like I've seen little bits of it that have snuck through, and I don't do this normally. I can't stand reading a plot in advance, but I'd heard so many things about this one, and I'd felt a little bit gutted from the previous one, especially the previous one. So I was like, "Oh, screw it! I'm just gonna actually read the plot on this." And you've actually seen it.
Yeah, I saw it.
And all right, tell me your thoughts, Ben. I've not heard them from you yet.
Well, I'm not going to run through the entire film because a lot of channels do that.
Yeah.
A lot of videos I've watched.
We're just going to assume.
Plot. I'm just going to talk about it.
Spoilers ahead, I'm sure. So cover thy ear holes if you don't wish to know them. If you don't already, just for the record. All right, tell me your thoughts.
I didn't really like it.
Shocker.
I know.
I could tell by all the big smiles on your face.
Well, the last one did so much damage.
Yeah, the last Jedi.
I already had initial thoughts that the best thing that Rise of Skywalker was going to be, it was going to be a patch job on Last Jedi. And it turns out that's pretty much what it was. With a really shit the bed moment with Palpatine. That was because you could tell that they didn't really know what they wanted to do.
No.
And we'll touch back on that a bit later. But you could just tell that they hadn't. Everyone's been saying it, and it is something I agree with, which is they didn't have an idea. They didn't have a basic, right, this happens in the first one, this happens in the second one, and it resolves like with this in the third one.
It was a complete mess.
There was none of that.
Yeah.
And it's quite disrespectful, really, in a way, to how. I mean, you don't have to like the prequels, but at least you could complain about the questionable effects on them and the questionable dialogue, but at least it was coherent. It had a goal. You knew where it was going to lead to.
Absolutely. I mean, one could argue that makes it an odd argument because being a prequel, we as the audience also already knew where it was going. Whereas this one, the latest three being a sequel, it was going in a completely new direction. Now, that doesn't justify the fact that they approached the whole thing and then came out without a plan.
No, and I do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really stick up for the prequels at all. But there are aspects, because I think in general with films, people go, I didn't like this film, didn't like that film. But I don't think a lot of people don't admit, no, you can like bits in a film.
The pod race in episode 1, that was awesome.
Yeah, the duel. You can talk about things and go, you don't have to like them. Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, when they suddenly made the droids into comedy out of nowhere. It was like, when did they upload a comedy module? You know, what happened there? That was so strange.
And just to go back to the Rise of Skywalker, there was a bit like the first EA Battlefront game, a lot of potential, and they didn't use it. They had so many things they could have driven with.
Do you mean like the latest first? You mean Battlefront EA?
Yeah.
Or Battlefront from the good old days of like 2005?
No, EA, the EA Battlefront games.
Yeah.
You could tell they put a lot of attention to the detail, but there was no.
It was all superficial.
Yeah, there was
superficial
no
beauty
thing to it. Yes,
Yeah.
everything looked so beautifully detailed.
Sound design was stunning.
And
that's all my compliments are going.
Yeah. But in overall, it was an empty shell.
Yeah.
And I have to say, with these, and you can look back at all of them. I liked Force Awakens. Fair
enough.
Everyone shits on Force Awakens, saying it's a bit too much like New Hope, but I think everyone forgets Disney effectively paid $4 billion or $6 billion.
Many billion.
Many billions.
Many billion.
Many billions for that initial purchase. So the first film had to play safe.
I don't blame them. I would have done the same. Yeah.
Then with Last Jedi, they sort of went, okay, we did pretty fairly on this one. Let's be a bit more risque. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they went about it the wrong way.
They changed directors.
Yeah.
Directors, writers, all that jazz, and they literally threw, they'll literally give it, okay, here's the notes of where we're going on that one. That was cool, yeah, that's cool. But the moment the first one's left, second one just threw it over their shoulders, like, right, I would just change it all up.
Yeah, they, I don't know why they didn't stick with a writer.
Yeah.
The original trilogy, George Lucas didn't do any of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he did the first one, sorry. He did do New Hope.
Oh, yes, you're right.
But then he didn't do Empire and didn't do Return. But he stuck with the writing, obviously.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows him for it. But
because back then...
And it was consistent, yeah? With the new films, yeah, he directed, but he still wrote them.
Yeah.
And they were consistent with the prequels.
Yeah.
With this one, you had... with Force Awakens, it was J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan. I think that's his name. The guy who wrote Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Then it was He Who Shall Not Be Named. And then it went back to...
But no,
yeah,
I can't do it.
And then it went back to Chris Terrio and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And it just... There's no consistency with it. Because they made out... You got the first one. Ben's... Kylo Ren's a bad guy throughout. I mean, they tried flickering little moments of... Oh, he could be good, but then he goes and kills one of the most beloved characters in the entire Star Wars history.
Yeah.
So you think, bit of a dick. Definitely a dick. He's a bad guy. It's got to be a bad guy. Oh, Snoke. Or he could be like the big head poncho.
Yeah.
We'll see
could be like a failed clone of Palpatine. Yeah. Ooh.
Last Jedi came along, and then they went, oh, Ben's still being a dick, but he's being more of a dick than this one, because now he's playing fucking mind games, and he might have a fucking thing with Rey, which never...
With a weird topless scene.
I'll go into later on.
Weird topless scene. Where he was the broadest man I've ever fucking seen in that shot for some weird reason. Even though in the previous movie when he had his dress on, he looked so fucking slim. It's like, what happened?
And then in the second one, they also were completely disrespectful to the Luke Skywalker's character and. Among other things. I don't want to talk about that show too much.
I have to briefly say, I love the point you made about how again spoilers, when Luke finally died in that one, and obviously his clothing, how come you didn't hear the clunk of his metal hand
his hand
hitting the floor?
His hand should have fucking fallen off.
Yeah, how come his hand went with it, his metal hand? Where do they all go?
That still bugs me.
Yeah.
And then with this one, they almost like try to forget how much of a dick he was in the last Jedi by trying to reel back the whole, oh no, he could be good, but it's like, he's killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
How can you try and bring him back? And eventually they did by saying the whole Kylo Ren character died because he spoke to his father, who was his own imagination. So effectively, he forgave himself.
God, it suffered from the Hobbit syndrome, wherein, when Thorin, had the whole dragon sickness bullshit. You know what the cure was? He decided to get over it.
Yeah, that's what it was. There was no outside influence. It was because you don't get better by being in a bad environment.
And then someone saying, get better. Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Here's what I will give credit. On paper, I can see the appeal of the whole, all the Jedi are in you, all the Sith are in me. I can see it, but I can also see that it would not transition well in this circumstance. And it did not transition well.
No,
And why the hell was Palpatine hanging on that fucking big coat hanger broken thing?
I haven't heard anyone say this, but when you first see him in the opening fucking scene,
he's like hanging off, I think.
He actually looks quite good.
Yeah.
And then when he's got the effect of later on, when all the life is getting sucked into him, he looked worse.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't he look better?
Shouldn't he look more healthy?
I had all these theories going in my head. You know when you watch a film and you hear rumours and shit, and you don't like it, it goes, oh, but this could still happen. This could still happen. This little
little slither of hope.
Left.
Yes.
I heard that Matt, what's his name? Doctor Who guy. Matt, I've forgotten his fucking name.
Matt.
Oh, I have to come back to it.
either.
But another character was supposedly had a role in The Rise of Skywalker.
Aye.
When that bit where, because it was, I think, if I'm not thinking this right, it was all a bit smoky, and then you see him all Emperor from Return, like looking fucking worse off, like I said.
Yeah.
Than when he just had slightly glowy, like milky eyes and everything.
Yeah.
I thought, oh shit, it's just gonna be a really awesome scene where it's like a really young version of Palpatine, and now he's having this fucking freeway fight with Rey and Ben at this point.
Yeah.
Nope, none of that. He looked pretty much the worse than when he did when he.
So that suggests when he's at maximum vitality, he looked like that, and also there was the whole the spoiler that he was the grandfather of Rey. So that meant that he had to pork some poor lass
when he looked
he looked like a fucking testicle man.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
They
like,
never.
Oh God.
I don't know. Man.
Talk about taking advantage of the blind.
It's one of those things where it's like hindsight after a multi-million pounds has been made, and you think, what if they did this? What if they did that? Like, what if they already... I have spoken to some friends, and they kind of agree and they don't agree with what I said, but one of the ideas I thought was the whole does Rey need to be someone? Now, that's the only thing I sort of liked in the idea of The Last Jedi was, no, fuck with your expectations. She's no one.
Yeah.
She's literally just someone who, like a lot of past Jedis, just so happened to be...
She was in the right place at the right time for the story to take place.
Because the whole idea that you have to be a Skywalker or you have to be this, and it's like, so what? All those other Jedis in the prequels, they're just Force
dead weight.
users.
Yeah,
they're just Force users. That's what they are.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a lineage. So I like that. And this one, no, you're
gonna have a connection.
You're the wrinkly testicles granddaughter. That's who you are. And
then decide you're a Skywalker at the end because reasons.
I wish he just said. So anyway, back to my theory. I thought what would have been a good idea would have been, you know how, and once again we'll be making ties with Lord of the Rings because it's probably the most solid trilogy out there.
Oh.
Now, film-wise and book-wise.
Yeah.
Aragon knew his lineage.
Yes.
And he was afraid of it.
Yes.
That was the whole point. He knew who he was, and he was worried about the weakness of Isildur.
Yes.
That's the whole... And then he rides up to it.
Yes.
And then he confronts
beat it, yeah.
Beat it. He knew that he was better than from his heritage, his ancestral past. Now, I always thought, wouldn't it be really cool if she knew? Because if you're going to do a whole trilogy of who's Rey, hundreds of fucking internet theorists will either come up with the right answer.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise, it's just a box being ticked.
Yeah.
It's not, oh shit. Once you've already opened the bag, the Pandora's box of who's this person was done way back in the original trilogy with, oh shit, Luke's so-and-so's father, because it wasn't a mystery. It was just your father. Well, in the
Darth Vader
father
is
was
thy
a
father.
Jedi. Darth Vader.
Spoiler alert.
Fucking spoiler alert. And so it wasn't a who's his father. You knew, but oh shit, it ain't. It's him.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, this has made it interesting.
Yeah.
So when you go make this big old mystery box, which as JJ likes to do, the whole mystery box thing.
Yeah.
It's not a oh shit, it's this person. It's right. It's one of these.
Yeah. It's
and you
which
lose
one?
It. Yeah.
It's literally like a colossal Star Wars themed game of Guess Who.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I think if she knew she was a Palpatine from the very start, but kept it, didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then it was just brought up, not in a big reveal, but in more of a subtle reveal. But it's all like, oh shit.
It would have been an awesome plot twist, not only that she was related to Palpatine, but that she knew the whole time.
Yes, and I think that way then she's battling with the whole her anger side and because in this Rise of Skywalker she's battling the dark side and the light side.
Yeah.
That would have personally been a much more better storyline.
Yeah.
Or my other theory is they stuck to it.
Yeah.
Didn't jump the shark and go no. She's just a regular. She's no one.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, when he goes Rey who, she'd have gone this Rey.
Yeah.
And then she would have just gone
Rey Johnson.
Yeah. And I just like I said, we're not going to go through a plot to plot, so we are going to be going back and forth to certain scenes.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of people on YouTube go through the start. the whole film.
We're not going through this chronologically as a systematic review. We're literally just screaming out our frustrations or praises where they do show up, where we get our microscopes.
Now, to say, I'm glad I watched it. It's not as bad as The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi did generally annoy me.
Yeah.
Because it was just complete disrespect.
Yeah.
And you can always tell that they didn't know what they were doing, because if they damn well knew they wanted Palpatine to be the big baddie again for the third trilogy now, that he's the big bad again.
That's true.
They would have, I think, if they knew what they were doing, they would have, at the very end of Last Jedi, when they're on the fucking
in Force Awakens,
and they're going along, and I don't know, one of them's going through communications, then they heard the transmission,
they get their transmission
of Palpatine.
Yeah.
That would have been oh shit moment. Yeah. That would have been the oh shit moment.
That would have been cool.
And then that would have led straight into it. But no, we don't even hear the transmission unless you just happen to play Fortnite and they released it there. You heard it from the opening text, the dead speak.
The bloody crawl.
And I'm like, mate, that's no.
Yeah, I saw a written up version of the crawl, and I was like, oh man, it's just. Even a few in the prequel had such a stupid, cringy opening line. I can attack. No, I'm Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. The very first was literally war! ! I'm like, what is it good for? It's just, I don't know. Something about it just seems so. Okay, now here's the interesting part, and again going back to Rey and the whole conflict between good and evil within her and all that stuff. The ultimate running theme of all Star Wars, whether intentional or otherwise, or obvious or otherwise, is the fact that it's always about companionship. How you are ultimately stronger as a crew and out jazz. And I think your idea of the fact her knowing about being Palpatine could have worked so well with that, when ultimately it proves to her that she, is better off as a team. And that would have worked so well with its whole theory. But it just, it ultimately, always, despite this underlying message of companionship and stuff, it always like, it's all down to me.
The thing is, that's only part of the story that would have worked, because there's still bits. I mean, Rey's been. The whole Mary Sue thing, alright, if you want to call it that, then whatever. But she doesn't, there's no stumbling and falling.
Yeah.
She gets a bit of a stumble, but she always ends up succeeding. She had a lightsaber donkey punch in her in The Last Jedi, and but she always succeeded.
Yeah.
She always got through it. Again, because people compare Rey to Luke and his progress to her progress. Luke,
fair enough,
fucked up in the second one. He did not win. He lost his hand. He found out that his dad's the big fucking bad,
which arguably was probably too early for him to learn that. Really,
exactly. So he's the whole thing about the second one is everything's like the second, that Empire Strikes Back was the perfect film of what the fuck's gonna happen now.
It put Luke at his lowest.
Yeah, what I think. That's what that put a way of how every single sequel film is the second of a trilogy or so or whatnot is one of those oh shit, what's going to happen now, because there was a bit of good, but then this happened. Like everything I can think about, or any trilogy that comes off my head, like Matrix Reloaded. That aging guy got picked up, and they lost the ship, but they're still alive, but what the fuck's going to happen
and
now?
There's this army coming of like 250,000 robots.
Two Towers, alright, a bit more hopeful, but it was a bit, it's a bit of dread about it.
Yeah, it was clear then that, the war
Gollum was going to lead them to Shelob. So you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen then? Yeah. But with Last Jedi, hey, everything's fine. I mean, there's only 7 of us left, but we're all fine.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then they, I don't know, but with Rey, back to my point, there was no learning. It was just, fucking force healing. That. Just learning it. Yeah. Helping a fucking space worm, whatever it was called, snake thing. Yeah. And the storyline didn't make sense. I mean, how is it that they was able to find a dagger that perfectly matched up to a debris that was only there for 30 years? Yeah. The dagger looked a lot older than 30 odd years. Yeah. And able to find all that. Why was there bits of Death Star left when the thing vaporized, or I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, literally
completely obliterated. So how were there humongous chunks of it falling down? And how did that stay in shape? I mean, I know Star Wars don't like the word atmosphere. Yeah. Every single real life space film you've ever watched, when they're entering Earth or entering a planet, they burn up in entry. Yet Star Wars, they just fly off. Yeah. And there's no sense of the Earth spinning or fucking or planets. There's no atmosphere because they don't burn. They burn up in, or they don't heat up in coming into the planet's
this
atmosphere.
was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Things may have been different.
Yeah, but now they're starting to put certain aspects of actual science
Yeah.
into it. Like, if you notice, explosions don't go poof. They do go a bit flashy.
Yeah.
But they kind of because
They implode as well. Yeah.
Back in the original trilogy, they had shockwaves and
Yeah.
explode, they fire everywhere.
It was like the remake of the original, like the remake from like the 90s. When they did the shockwave thing.
More shockwaves.
And don't get me wrong, it looks cool. Just, you know. And speaking of what looks cool and stuff, when I first learned about Palpatine's return, I obviously very quickly knew that ultimately, in many ways, it was a disappointment. But do you know what my first thought was? What? Do you remember the bad guy from RoboCop 2 when... spoilers, when they killed him.
Oh, then he went into
then he went into a big machine. I pictured something like that with Palpatine's holographic face on it. And he's got like fucking shit on him, and I thought that could have been terrifying. It could have been so terrifying, and yet no, they just hung him on a hook.
They never explained it, and when it is mentioned, he just recites. They just got him to recite a line from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
You know, the dark side has many abilities, and all that. And I think, no, don't. That's bad,
fan service.
That's bad writing. No, not bad writing, but that's bad storytelling.
Yeah.
Because you're just reciting a lot of... There's probably more Star Wars fans watching these than actual just moviegoers. It's not like comic books where you gotta sometimes explain a bit because not everyone reads comics.
Yeah.
Star Wars has been around long enough. The majority of people know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Alright, unlike some saddos like you and me who do go through the lore, and there are things in Rise of Skywalker that really pissed me off, which we'll get to in a minute, that they just went, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
But... you gotta be. They don't come across as being very respectful. Nostalgic, yes, but nostalgia is not always going to work.
I don't believe they're doing nostalgia for the sake of their love of it. I feel like they're doing it more just because they'll love it and they'll pay for it.
Like
that's the vibe I get.
But they're putting it into the story, which doesn't work because we're watching it as viewers. We understand, but the people won't understand why they do it. Like the very end when Maz Kanata gives Chewie the medal.
Yeah,
because he didn't get a medal in New Hope, so they thought if they write into the story, people would know. It's like, fan service, that works, but how does that work in that?
Yeah.
In that situation, they don't know that we know. So how does it work in a situation where he just gives them the medal?
It was purely for fan service. It didn't make any
thought that was
sense.
a bit. I can see why they did it. A lot of people went, finally, he got his medal. But give him a different medal. Don't give him that medal because no one understands what that medal is. Maybe give him another medal for this battle or something where they actually, give it to him then. That makes sense because he was part of the battle that got rid of the, and then he said final order.
Yeah. What if there's another one? That'll be embarrassing.
Well, there will be. Because there's no balance. That's what I actually quite
that was the point. Darth Vader, his final act before he died as Anakin Skywalker, he brought balance to the Force.
Yeah.
And yet, wait, no he didn't. Palpatine never died. There was no balance. It just shows the whole prophecy, which ultimately underlined the whole prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And to an extent, kind of by proxy, the whole of the original trilogy. I know it wasn't as obvious during the whole original trilogy itself, but it is by proxy. It's been rendered completely moot because of the fact that Palpatine returned in this last one. It completely renders it moot. The whole prophecy that he'll bring balance to the Force. No, he didn't.
Well, you can't watch Return of the Jedi now and go, hey, oh no, because we know that he comes back.
But here's the weird thing as well. Palpatine is absolutely one I did not want to come back. Don't get me wrong. I think he was a great villain.
For it.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the funny thing. At the end of Solo, spoiler alert, when Darth Maul comes back...
You actually got around to watching Solo?
Of course not.
Oh wait.
Well, I've actually seen most bits of it. I've seen most bits of it, but I never got around to it. But I know of the end and the fact that Darth Maul shows up again in a hologram. Now, not only am I pleased that Darth Maul came back, because I think he was woefully underappreciated, along with the choreography.
Well, they did a good job in the Clone Wars and the
but in live action, within live action, and he came back with mechanical legs and all that stuff. That was, arguably speaking, it is less likely that Darth Maul would return. 'Cause not only did he fall down a colossal pit like the Emperor did, he did it in 2 pieces.
Yes.
I mean, I know you could also say the Emperor also fell into a blazing plasma inferno because of when he got thrown down suddenly, and there was all that blue 70s style visual effects of all the half animated,
80s,
half CG.
I think it was like early 80s.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think you're maybe right, but either way, it was that sort of time period. But it's less likely for Darth Maul to come back. Yet he did, and I was happy he did. Whereas the Emperor, it's arguably more plausible that he could come back. But God, no, he shouldn't have.
Well, the thing is, with Maul, there is actual canon about how he was so... Because the whole point of Darth Maul is he is the embodiment of fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
If you want to put it politely, fucking pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
So he, through the dark energy, like dark force,
His hatred kept him going.
Kept him going.
Yeah.
But that's in canon. There's a official comic to show that.
Yes.
And with Palpatine, nothing. Just a load of theories, and it doesn't fucking... You can't do that.
If they... Obviously, they couldn't have because they kept changing hands, changing director. But if they had built it up from Force Awakens and even The Last Jedi, I would have been more okay with it.
Well, you can tell they wanted Snoke. Snoke was supposed to be the big bad.
Yeah, I'm so curious what they... I wonder... They must have thought... whoever created Snoke must have had some idea of what his origin was at the time. I mean, arguably could still be. Because he was killed off. It wasn't like disproven or he's just some guy who burnt toast and died.
I just think you don't do that much. You don't do that much kind of build up and then just go, nah, that's it.
I couldn't believe it.
It doesn't make sense. There was obviously there always has to be a bad and a big bad. But I would like to see a Star Wars film where there's a bad, another bad, and there's the bad and the big bad. But the other bad,
and
like
the bad
Vaders,
behind the scenes.
You've got the Vaders and the Kylos.
Yeah.
They're the bad.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the big bad, which was supposed to... Well, should have been Snoke and
there was a term for this that I learnt back in uni. I believe it was the Mastermind and the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Because they are the Iron Fist of their Mastermind leader, like the right hand or that jazz. And they're often meant to be more terrifying than the leader themselves, even though the leader holds more authority and more fear.
I know, but it's just almost like they try playing it so safe with Rise of Skywalker. It's like, we better make the regular bad redeemable again.
And am I the only person who thought when I first saw it that Kylo's saber was awesome? Because it had the crossguard, and I mean, I've done sword fighting a long time in the past.
We used to test it. How would this actually work without cutting your own hand off?
Yeah, I did think. I mean, you'd have to. I mean, when you look at it within the confines of Star Wars lore, it could work because they're Force users. They're more able to control it. It has no weight and all that stuff. But obviously, to a plebeian like you or me, we would indeed just like sever our own wrists or something with the moment you do like a riposte. But and you'd forget about it. But I loved it. I think that was. It's a shame. That was like the last time I was excited about Kylo. Was like the first trailer when he pops out and he goes poof, and then the two little one poof, and I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. I really like that.
Think about it. That first teaser. Because it was just a little short teaser. Yeah. That was probably the closest. Even Last Jedi didn't. I mean, Last Jedi did the opposite, complete over too much about. Oh, this is a bit different.
Well, we were still hopeful back then because we knew they were playing it safe with Force Awakens. We thought, maybe they're gonna like with Empire Strikes Back. It will.
I mean, Force Awakens was safe.
Yeah,
and that's understandable why. Because again, how much they paid to get the rights, the Lucasfilm, but. With that first teaser, not the trailer, the very first teaser, it gave you the perfect balance of, hey look, there's another. Hey look, whose voice is that?
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like anyone I recognise. Oh look, a dark, menacing figure, and wow, they got a weird. They got like a crossguard saber, and that looks really cool. And who's this person? This weird person in the desert, and then the perfect bit of just a little bit of nostalgia. Show a bit of the Falcon and show a bit of Rey, Han and Chewie.
Yeah, that bit of Han and Chewie. Yeah,
it was a mixture of something new, something familiar, and then something familiar.
Yeah, it was a transition from old to new, and I think that trailer did it really well.
Yeah. Have you noticed though? In every single trailer, there's always Finn wooing.
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah, you're right.
He always goes,
whoa.
There's always
you're
one
right. Yeah.
Every one, he's always doing a woo.
Yeah, I've never even occurred to me that. Yeah,
we might have to do it, but I want someone to do a woo compilation of all 3 different trailers.
Oh God.
He does it in every one of them. Every trailer.
Woo woo's more than Thomas the Tank Engine.
A Finn woo. That's what they're going to add.
The Finn woo.
The Finn woo.
That sounds like a Finn woo.
Sounds like a.
Don't go out during Fenwu mating season. Oh man. The smell.
What else? There's so many things. Oh, yeah. So going to the lore section of it, and I'm not going to dictate and be one of those, because there are passionate Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah.
There are casual Star Wars fans, and there are the dickhead Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Which I think get too much attention than they should get, because they are small but very loud.
Yeah.
And because they're loud, everyone thinks there's loads of them, and there isn't.
Yeah.
But. And I'm not going to be one of those nobbers that go, that's not what they should do. I didn't write the fucking book. I don't really know what's what. Yeah. But that bit where Kylo and Rey are playing tug of war with that transport with Chewie, which just a transporter.
Yeah.
And Rey's getting frustrated and accidentally uses force lightning.
Oh yeah, this
Now,
yeah, I've heard of this bit. Yeah.
Now that bit really annoyed me because to me it looked like the first ever. You know when you lift up something really heavy,
Yeah.
and you get a little fart comes out. That's what that scene reminded me of.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you act? It's like she's going and then lightning. Because how else does that work? That's not how. To me personally, that's not how force lightning works. Force lightning is a very specific. I want to hurt you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like it's almost like you can accidentally push out a bit of force lightning, like when you fart too hard and a bit of poop comes out.
If you're frustrated and you're angry, it's like that really bugged me for a long time. I'm watching. I was thinking that's not. You don't accidentally force lightning.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, but I don't think it should have been done that way from what it sounds like.
A very specific
with intent to harm
to do. In fact, I don't think you learn to force lightning until you're like fully fledged Sith, because I want to really hurt you.
I mean, I imagine the idea behind Force or Sith, whatever you want to call it, lightning, is that it is pure untempered rage.
Yeah.
And which, fair enough, if you go purely down that route, what you're describing makes sense. But I believe intent would be everything if it's something that manipulates the life energy that binds us and all that shit. So she's basically tug-of-warring with Kylo, say, for a transporter.
There's a transporter which has got Chewie. No,
yeah.
It didn't, but you assume Chewie was in it.
Oh, yeah.
And first off, she's got the... Remember when we all thought Starkiller from fucking Force Unleashed was a bit OTT? Yeah. Like holding back a fucking crashing Star Destroyer.
Yeah, literally clearing...
She does...
Yeah.
She kind of... They run out. He goes... He gets pushed into this transporter. The transporter flies off. She then runs along and tries to hold it. And then she starts to bring it back.
Yeah.
Then Kylo's there. And he's trying to tug it away from this. It's like a tug of war thing.
So yeah, literally a tug of war.
She's getting more and more frustrated because it's. So I think again, I've only seen the film once. I don't really want to watch it again, but I'm going by memory. It starts to come away from her, and in her frustration, she accidentally does a force fart.
Yeah.
And force lightning comes out and it explodes.
Yeah.
And I just thought that's a bit like me. Again, the idea that the force lightning is a very intentional, malicious thing to do to fucking hurt someone.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, because I believe that while she was grabbing that transport, what was in her mind? I don't think it was about harming her. The intent was to protect Chewie, because she thought it was on board. And then, when Anakin ran at Count Dooku had the intent to cause harm. Zap. I agree with you. It makes logical sense to me that you wouldn't accidentally, while the intent to protect something, fart out of force lightning. I think you could only... I mean, maybe you couldn't do it immediately. You'd have to be well in tune with the force, and sure, to go with the whole law that she was related to Palpatine, she probably did have the power in her. Again, but intent is everything.
Yeah. So, to me, that's a bit like me playing tug-of-war with someone and getting angry that I'm losing and decide to turn around and punch someone next to me and goes, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. So, what?
Because I don't believe for even a second that accidental force lightning works in the same way as accidental muscle control. It's not to do with muscles. It's to do with your ability to manipulate the energy of the force.
Whenever
we're such nerds.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I just thought of that scene. I was thinking that to me reminds me of a force fart.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's a brilliant way of looking at it.
You're lifting, you're straining. Because I'd love to see a scene where that happens. Just as the lightning comes up,
lightning just comes out of her ass.
Yeah, no, just the fart sound, just as it's fucking shooting across the sky.
I'm sorry. All I see now is it just farting out of her ass and setting fire to the floor under her.
But that's okay because Chewie wasn't on it, and we find that out not nearly.
I heard that very quickly. Thought he died. C-3PO thought he was, destroyed, I guess you could say. Even though he technically died a few times now because his memory's been wiped. So...
Oh, no, he doesn't die, but his personality dies. But it's okay. That's the thing. There's no peril. There's no sense of loss. Apart from one. They did it with Han.
Yeah.
Even though he then shows up again. So it doesn't... I like the idea. If someone goes, they go. If you're a Force ghost, okay, you're a bit... away from that rule because if you're a Jedi, you can come back as a Force ghost, blah 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 blah, and all that. But if you're a person, that's why when Han went, it was like, oh shit, Han's gone. First film. That's one of the ballsiest thing they could have done.
Apparently, George Lucas wanted to kill off Han Solo.
Harrison wanted to kill off.
Oh, Harrison! Sorry, wrong person.
Because he didn't sign up to 3 films. He signed up for each film. I think. I might be wrong in this, but he said that he didn't want to sign up to 3 films unless there was a purpose for the character, which I really hope John Boyega did with Finn, because he had one good purpose in the first film, and then he was in the others
Because he could be.
Because he was in the others. And that was just such a waste as well with Finn. What an amazing character development to go through. An ex-Stormtrooper makes you question, hang on a minute, all these other cannon fodder that we're seem to be blasting away, maybe they're other things as well. Maybe they got... maybe they kind of got coerced or as children into this, and maybe
I did very much
brainwashed.
And I did very much enjoy watching him do a lightsaber duel, if you could call it that, with Kylo.
Was awesome.
Seeing a non-Force user with a lightsaber basically get his ass handed to him.
Yeah,
I like that. I've always wondered what would that be like if some rando just picked up a saber and was like, "Ooh, look at me!" Swing,
I kind of wish
swing.
they kind of reflected more on his injury, because he did get his spine pretty much incinerated.
And then he got stabbed by a crossguard as well, right in the shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah, you don't see any. I wanted to see, maybe, I know it's Star Wars and if you lose a limb, you just get a new one.
Yeah.
You don't really notice these things, but I think that would have been a good character design.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a good way of his story and everything. And
oh, that reminds me. There's something about the new one I do or don't know. Was anything done about Phasma? You know, she was just freaking left.
She was left.
Oh, for God's sake.
She definitely almost did die in Last Jedi, because we don't see her again.
Then what was the whole point in that eye reveal in The Last Jedi? You know,
she's a person. That's what it was. She has legs, and oh my God, there's an actual eye.
I mean,
that.
I guess, logically speaking, there is a part of me that if I hadn't actually seen it myself and it was like before it had been released, I'd be like, you know what? It's good. Realistically speaking, it would make more sense that she dies unknown. But now it's happened, I'm not happy about that.
But that would have been unique to this trilogy of the sequel trilogy. Would have been, you got Rey, all right, you got your big bad Snoke, let's say. We're saying,
she almost took the role of Boba Fett, if you know what I mean. She had that sort of position of like right hand to the right hand.
Yeah, I mean, you could have had Rey and Kylo conflict, but then you could have also had the whole, because Phasma was almost like a embodiment of his time as a trooper, and
yes.
And so she could have been, if they didn't actually do what they did in Last Jedi, they could have had a bit of a scuffle, but then got separated or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in this last one, they could have had that final him trying to almost close out chapter completely, because that Phasma character is an embodiment of what he was.
Yeah.
And it's a constant reminder, and the fact that she always, it almost in a way, because she always called him FN21 whatever it was.
Yeah. Which
is almost in a way, is almost like in the same way that Agent Smith in the Matrix films always called Neo Mr. Anderson.
That's
almost
true.
Like a constant. Yeah. You're not Neo. You're Mr. You know. Almost like a
just to bring back, you're just a human. Yeah. Where she'd be like, you're just a grunt.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that would have been a really good result. But nope, he ends up just meeting some other ex-stormtroopers, and turns out after the film, and that JJ said was that he was also force sensitive.
What?
Because.
What? No.
Because.
I don't know. Yeah, stop it, Ben. Take that back. Take that back.
I can't take back what I didn't originally say.
No.
I can only repeat what he said.
Damn it, Ben. Why can you not control the world? Seriously? No. He should have just... Oh, no. You just made it even worse for me now.
I've started you now, haven't I?
Yeah, I'm actually a bit lost for words. Because he filled, for me, the same role as Batman does in the Justice League. He's just a man. And yet he's on par with all these people with all these powers, and yet he's still holding his own. And now, oh no, he's got a little bit of a force hard on. It's like, oh come on, guys.
Nah, also there was that one scene which made me laugh, and I heard a few other people say it, like when all the rebels or resistance now are on the Star Destroyer. I don't know why the Star Destroyer didn't just tilt. What if it just tilted and they would have gone, and they would have just, that would have been it.
Yeah, imagine seeing a barrel rolling Star Destroyer.
I think it would have been hilarious.
Oh,
but
man.
I'm not gonna. There's other complaints, but I think enough people on other channels and videos have said it. But
we could make a whole playlist on our complaints about Star Wars of late.
But the thing is, they've got so much potential to make a really, 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 not necessarily trilogy, just a really good film.
Well, they made a good series lately. I mean, I've not seen all of it yet, but I've seen the first episode of The Mandalorian.
I don't know why they don't give Dave Filoni the job.
Yeah.
He obviously, Jon Favreau, the guy gets enough credit. He did a brilliant job of Mandalorian as well.
Yeah.
But Dave Filoni did Rebels, he did Clone Wars.
And the Mandalorian never takes his helmet off.
George Lucas even said,
yeah,
he's like the next thing to his son.
Yeah.
Is this Dave Filoni guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, for some reason, they don't go to Kathleen, thank you very much. well, let's get this guy in, because he's like, the Mandalorian has had no. I mean, they've had weak episodes. Every series has got a weak episode.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go, which one did you not like the least?
Yeah.
Or which one did you like? Yeah,
I've only
one
seen the
least.
first one, so I've not seen all of them.
I've seen all of them.
Oh, okay, fair.
Through reviews. I'm not gonna.
Through reviews.
I'm not gonna buy Disney Plus.
No.
I'm not gonna. Sorry,
No.
I'm not gonna buy HBO Max either.
I'm going to wait until, I don't know if they'll ever release it on DVD or something of that like.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. Or if I, I don't know. If I have a friend who has it or something, I don't fucking know.
But it did prove my point that I had a little while ago. So that was like a Western. It was like Star Wars, but in a Western kind of style.
I liked his style of gunplay. I loved his gunslinger way of doing it.
But then it
It's
just
cool.
proves to me that with Star Wars, it's such a vast, and we can all thank George Lucas for concocting the seed of this thing to blossom to what it is. You can do all sorts of genres within Star Wars. I've said this to a few friends as well. Like, you could do a comedy in the Star Wars thing, make it about a smuggler, make it about something, doesn't matter. You could do a full-on comedy without being silly, and it will be good.
Yeah.
As long as you don't disrespect the law, keep within the law, it can be good.
Yeah.
You could do a bloody drama.
You could do a horror.
Horror would be really good.
There'd be some horrible things in there, I imagine.
You could do, but they always stick to a certain thing. Like, you can't really say, it's like an adventure film.
Yeah.
That's what they are at the moment.
Yeah, you can confirm it's definitely adventure. Action adventure.
Action adventure, but you could do a full-on romance story.
You could
I
do
know
a
you could say there was a sort of romance in the prequel story, but nah.
You could probably do a suspense, suspenseful movie.
I think Rogue One would technically class as a... everyone keeps calling it a heist, but it wasn't a heist because they were just going in guns, blowing guns. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Go get it.
Yeah, basically, it was just another adventure in my mind.
I loved Rogue One. That's what confuses me about the whole Disney takeover, because I know some people were saying, "Oh, Disney's fucked it. Oh, we can't ever listen to or watch Star Wars again because Disney's just going to put a pair of mouse ears on it and it's going to be shit."
Mouse.
But I'm like, but look at Rogue One.
It was good.
I really like Rogue One. The style on that's completely different.
Well,
from
they had the ability to kill off all the characters because of the nature of what they were dealing with, and that lovely little bit of fan service at the end with Darth Vader. Hell, even just the bit in the middle, I thought that was all the fan service we were getting, with just Darth Vader meeting up with.
He did his first dad joke.
Yeah, he did that freaking brilliant joke. I in the cinema when I watched it, I actually went, ha! It was just so, I don't know. The thing is, I've never imagined him making a joke, but it just worked for me. It was so fucking stupid.
But
do not choke on your aspirations. And he's just there doing that hand grippy thing, like he's gripping some space testicles, which he's basically gripping his space testicles from long range. And then he does that joke, and it was just, oh man, I love you.
Well, they really could make a really solid. Doesn't have to be a trilogy. You don't have to worry about a trilogy. Just make a film. But the thing is, though, I heard they were going to do a thing where they're going to set it in the past. Not quite. Well, I think it's Old Republic because they said it's going to be set around the time when the Law of Two starts.
Oh yeah.
Which I think now, come on, do a bit before.
That'll be Old Republic.
Do it before that though. Do it when there are loads of Siths and.
Well, have you heard recently? I don't know how true or confirmed or approved this actually is, but I've heard tell that Darth Revan, from Knights of the Old Republic and all that, they're going to make that officially canon.
They already have.
It's been done now. Okay.
Well, what they did it, and I'm going to say pretty fucking cheaply.
Yeah.
What they did, where they got these Sith troopers, they gave them all unit names.
Yeah.
So you got Plagueis, a few others, and one of them was Revan.
Yeah.
So when they say Revan's now canon, that's what they mean. So which means they named it after Sith Lords. So yes, there was. It's indicating that there was that there was a Revan in the past. But it's like. I don't want to read it on a fucking. I don't want to know about it by looking through some picture book, and it says the name on whatever. It's like,
they're actually
actual Revan. I don't.
I've heard it said the possibility that they're actually doing a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. I believe what it is that because again the Old Republic was set so long ago, it doesn't impact their new new lore and stuff. So I think they decided it was so popular they thought they could just reintroduce it rather than make one of their own. Because I love the fact that with Star Wars that there, even in the time of the trilogy prequels, that there was so much history. You could go back tens of thousands of years, and yet
that's the beauty of it. You can go back so far back. You can do what you want.
So if you're making like a fan thing, you've got so much room to play with. You can just stick it anywhere. And I that's one thing about Star Wars I do. That's one of the reasons I like Lord of the Rings as well, and Middle Earth, is that it has so much history. Because for me, history is an opportunity for stories, and that's why we do this. We do it for stories, don't we? That's why we watch these things. As long as it's a good
story and you like the characters, and I just think they missed the mark. Because there were moments in Rise of Skywalker I quite liked. I liked all the carefully reconstructed scenes with Leia.
Yeah.
And the fact that because I saw a video where they showed what the scene was.
Yeah.
And how they integrated it into it. I thought that was very well respectedly done. Oh shit, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's what I liked. The costumes and the the production looked amazing as usual.
Yeah.
I like that.
I remember actually.
I'm really trying to think. I'm such a fucking nerd. All I do is moan about.
You're like an ultra cynical nerd.
I am. I just concentrate on things I didn't like. No, I did. I'm glad I watched it. It's not as bad as Last Jedi.
Am I right to say that I'm glad I didn't watch it?
No, you should probably still see it. You're lucky that you read the script and you watched enough clips.
I'll wait until it comes out and I'll find someone who's bought it and then I'll watch it with them.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay.
I still ain't seen Solo. Not because I don't like it, because I don't think there's any point.
Yeah.
And I think we're still both sticking to that.
Yeah,
it's on TV all the time and I still flick past it. I'm like, I don't...
Here's the thing with Solo, the problem. There was never going to be much suspense because you know that Han and Chewie are going to survive. It's like in the trailer when they were on that train in the snow,
exactly.
And then Chewie's leaning out and there's this rock coming up and it's like, oh, what's going to happen here? It's like, he's going to survive.
Yeah,
of course he's going to freaking survive.
Nothing is going to happen to him. It's okay.
I think the only bit in that whole movie that I know of that really like, ooh, with me was, again, Darth Maul.
I think we might have mentioned this before in a previous podcast, but it's been a long time since we've done one.
Maybe.
What the problem when you do prequels when it comes to characters is that the risk and the peril isn't there.
Yeah.
That's why I may have said this before, so I apologise if I'm repeating myself. The problem I had with the Solo film is that they shouldn't have done it about Han Solo. If you need to amp up or make the legends valid by showing it, I think the best thing to do is to show it through someone else. Like, what's the thing about Han Solo going through the test, something in so many parsecs? The Kessel Run in.
Yeah, it was the Kessel Run in blank amount of parsecs, and outrunning
Imperials and cheating, winning.
And winning the
Falcon from Lando. I think if you really want to amp up the legend of those characters, don't show them do it.
Yeah.
Show someone else.
Yeah.
Going through similar situations but not doing it as good.
Yeah.
Like someone who gets beaten by Lando.
Yeah.
Even though that person who we're following is really good, but they're not as good as Lando.
Yeah.
Or going through the Kessel Run.
So what you mean is
not as fast. Still going fast, but not as fast. Like a fleeting comment going, "Oh, you did it this time."
So you mean establish the bar that then Han Solo would have beaten in?
Because if you show it and you're not happy about it, it's canon.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it.
I like that idea.
I think that should be done on a lot of So I don't like the idea of a Solo film because the character's so well loved and not everyone's going to like the now official canon.
Yeah.
So I think if you are going to do it about someone else going through something similar.
Yeah.
Therefore, amping up the legend of that character.
Aye. It's
Right, I'm getting really bored about talking about Star Wars. Shall we talk about other things?
I think so.
Right, Witcher.
I liked Witcher.
I really like Witcher.
I said Witcher. I meant Witcher. Yes, I did very much enjoy Witcher. Yes, indeed.
I found the timeline a bit confusing at first.
Yes, as did most people.
Yeah. But I really, really enjoyed it.
Yes,
I don't think there's not a lot. The only thing I didn't really like about it was the design of the of what they called not bad people, but the ones that are taking over everywhere.
Oh, the Nilfgaardians.
Nilfgaardians.
Yeah.
Their armour was...
Testicle armour.
Yeah. So I get to think... Once someone said it, I was like, they do look like testicles.
Yes, they do a bit. And I have an awful feeling those who designed it did not think that. And the moment someone said it to them, they were like, oh, no.
Oh, shit. That's all I can see now.
No.
But, no, I really liked it. I thought Henry Cavill did a brilliant job as Geralt.
Well, he has a massive love of the Witcher video games.
Oh yeah, he's a full-on nerd.
He's a full-on Witcher nerd.
He's the most henchiest nerd you've ever come across.
Yeah, absolutely. You can sort of tell it's this. Oh no, I think he did it good justice.
I weren't initially convinced by the person playing Yennefer, but after I think halfway through, she really got it good into it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I had a bit of a nerd out when mentioned the lilac and gooseberries.
Apparently, no one wore contacts in that.
You what?
None of them wore contacts. It was all CGI. All done through CGI.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
man, that's impressive.
I was like, they found the actress the most bluest eyes I've ever come across. And no, none of it, because she's got those. When I was looking at the promo stuff for like the premiere, she's like got brown eyes.
Yeah,
so
that would make sense. To be fair, I wasn't necessarily a fan of how Trish looked.
No, that I will say was the only thing I went a bit. Oof.
It's I mean, I got used to it. But
she played it really well.
Yeah.
You know what it is? We're comparing it to the games, and you shouldn't compare it to the games because it's based on the books.
Yeah, absolutely. But it can't be helped, all right? It can't be helped.
No, they're like pretty much what made the books popular.
The author of the books believes that the only reason the video games are successful is because his books were so well loved. Now, he didn't necessarily. We'll give him credit. He made the world it's in. He made the character of the Witcher. He did all that, and all that. Nothing of this, the series, the games, wouldn't exist without that. Sure, but he believes the success of his books is the only reason the games were successful. He hates video games. In fact, when CD Projekt Red approached him about making his his world into the first Witcher game, they offered him, a lot like with the cast of Star Wars, either a set fee or a percentage of the earnings. He went immediately set fee. It was like, no, there's no way your games can have the complexity or depth of books and the like. And that may be true, but he woefully underestimated how well it would do, especially when the second and then definitely the third came about. Man, when the third game came, so many people I know have never played the first or second. I mean, I played all of them.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of his attitude towards the whole gaming thing at all. But, I don't know, a part of me, in retrospect, a part of me looks back at it and I kind of think, well, they said, can we make a game based on after your books?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe he thought like, okay, fine, but they're not going to be as good as my books.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I still think when he asked for more money because he found out, oh shit, people do actually like the games.
It's apparently official that he genuinely thinks video gaming is a waste of time.
Well, if he thinks that, why the fuck else would he make a new contract? Which means there's going to be another game now.
Yeah.
I reckon this is why I generally think CD Projekt Red is so concentrating on
Cyberpunk
2077. People are going to go, they're going to make another Witcher game. It's like they're going to make another Gwent game and piss people off. Remember that? It was like a mobile game, wasn't it, for Gwent? I couldn't even play Gwent on it. I didn't understand how Gwent worked.
Yeah, I tried it a few times. I was like, I'm just not getting this. I mean, I'd rather just play Munchkin in real life.
Yeah.
That's what I'd rather do. But or I'd rather go around, killing monsters. That's why I got The Witcher. So, I'm going to play The Witcher so I can play card games in The Witcher. Yeah.
I never understood games within games that much. Some of them are good, but when it comes to something like Gwent, where a lot of the missions are, buy this, you have to win this rare card.
Yeah.
Game, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention when you first introduced me how to play Gwent.
Yeah, when you give me paragraphs of text saying, do this weird, obscure thing, and I'm not there.
Well, I remember a mate of mine said the best way to win Gwent, and this is as simple as it could go,
is to turn the game off.
Win the first match, lose the second match, and win the last match. I went, oh, fuck, no.
What? Why? Why not win both matches?
It's Gwent. I don't understand how it works.
This is confusing.
Back to the show, though. They didn't mention Gwent once in that. I think Gwent is a game thing in it. Or was it mentioned in the book? I don't know.
I remember it's like one thing I had to do. Because I do know which characters were created for the game and which ones were originally in the books. So, and when that bard came along, I was like, hang on, Dandelion wasn't in the books. I mean, obviously, they gave him a different name. I was like, but it's totally inspired by Dandelion.
Oh, yeah.
It totally is.
I'm surprised in over the second or third season, if it's still as successful and they keep doing seasons, that he doesn't get his own little tash, and his little goatee.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about this song either, because that's been done to death. Yes, the song's very catchy. I found it initially annoying at first.
What don't you initially find annoying, though, Ben? Yeah, exactly.
But I still think the funniest bit was the bit where he captures that weird goat thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, you motherfucker goat. He goes, "Did your motherfucker snowman?" I love how angry he shouted. The way he shouts that line back at him.
Yeah. Me and Wiggs were giggling away on the sofa when that line went. That was brilliant.
Yeah, like I said, I've got to say though, talking about casting though, whoever they casted for Siri's mother, crikey, they couldn't have picked. I looked them up. They're not related. Just the casting director was shit hot at the time and went, "Yeah, we'll go for that one." I know they changed how they meet because apparently in the story he saves someone who knows that there's a kid there but doesn't realise they're at home.
Yeah,
so it's still the act of surprise, law of surprise.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's more of he literally has a little after morning sickness or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then goes, "Fuck." How do they get good at knowing someone's pregnant by someone being sick?
I don't know. It's like you even get people that know, "Oh, you're glowing." It's like, what? What? You turn the light off and you can still see them? It's like that doesn't. I mean, we're a pair of blokes. Maybe we just don't get it.
We don't know shit, and we're gonna make that very clear.
No.
I saw that bit and I just thought, how? I mean, they did it because the story said it needed to happen.
Yeah,
I get that, but his reaction was brilliant.
Yeah.
Fuck.
By
the way, if you have subtitles on, you can count how many times he actually says.
Yes.
I had him on. He did it about 7, 8, 9 times on the first episode alone.
Yeah. I think the only compilation better is Kratos in the latest God of War going, boy.
Yeah, he did like a crossover. Boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Boy. Read it, boy.
But compared to Star Wars, I haven't got a huge amount to say about The Witcher. Apart from that, I really, really liked it.
As far as we go, no news is good news, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to watch a few things that are supposedly good on Netflix, and some of it is. I mean, I watched The Irishman.
Yeah.
Recently, I watched that in 3 sittings.
It's like how long? Like 4 hours?
3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours.
3 and a bit hours long.
Oh.
Apparently there's a bit, an hour 40 in, that's a perfect stopping point, but I've got a memory, so I just pause it and then watch a bit more of it. I don't need to watch 2 halves.
Yeah. It's like it has an interval, a natural interval.
I understand they do that. Oh, it's a long film. Well, watch a bit of it, remember what happened, turn it off and come back to it. I've got to watch it halfway through. So I just...
Yeah.
I don't understand. Just...
Pure set stopping point.
I watched it 40 minutes a pop because I could just remember what happened last, or go back a few minutes. Oh, that's what happened. All right, let's carry on. No, really good. The de-aging thing was pretty impressive. A mate of mine brought up a good point though. He said, and he's only when I watched certain scenes, and he said, yeah, they made him look young, but people don't realise what they hadn't put across is that your face also changes.
Yeah.
And he goes, if you look at Robert De Niro in, let's say, Taxi Driver, very narrow face.
Yes.
And yet when they went back in time for roughly the same age, he had exactly the same shaped face, but just ironed out.
Yeah, exactly. So the structure around the jawline changes when you get older.
So I went, I did not fucking notice that. And this is ILM. I thought they would have fucking picked up on that.
Yeah.
But no, they did a really good job. There's one scene where Joe Pesci walks in. It's not really spoilers, but he walks into this bit, and I think it's the youngest version of him, and he's got blood on his shirt, so he's obviously been dealing with someone. Yeah. And that's probably the youngest he looks in the film. It is fucking impressive.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they also go the other way around, where they also make him look a lot older near the end of their life. Yeah. So I'm there watching it. Which one's their actual age? So I'm watching, I look at photos of them during the premiere, and they're all like doing photo opportunities. I go, I have to get that. I go, no, he's got more wrinkles in that scene. That's not him.
Well, I guess it's good that we have to sort of take time to analyse these things compared to having different actors, older and younger. Now, I've nothing against that, a younger actor playing a younger version of another actor, but there are certain movies where they have to transition. Yeah. My best example is Looper. I don't know if you've seen Looper. It's got Bruce Willis playing the older version. But point being, it shows a version of his life when he goes through it, and you see the younger guy getting older, and then suddenly it transitions to Bruce Willis with his wig on. And it's just because it's like this guy getting older, and suddenly he turns into Bruce Willis, and it's just such a strange, disjointing feeling that I'm kind of glad to see that CGI is able to cover these bases. Because I think I told you, I did back in uni, I did my dissertation on this, CGI and the death of acting, and how CGI is getting good enough to be able to ultimately replace people. So it's a very interesting topic, I find.
They're doing that on some Western film. They're going to use a dead actor in the leading role.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Just find someone new.
Because they don't have to pay him.
They do. They have to pay the family. They have to pay the...
I said something very, very stupid there, didn't I?
Well, yeah, they don't just go, hey, look, well, he's dead. Who needs the money?
Just, his face.
His family or his...
And all the CG artists that have to make him, to be fair. Yeah.
But
I did a silly.
They can do, right, when they want to do... Remember the olden... Like, I say the olden days, but it probably is now.
Yeah.
No, compared to... When I was little and I used to watch a film and it was showing a character who was young and then they get older and you realise they look fuck all. I watch them now and I go, they look fuck all like them looking as an adult.
Yeah.
Unless they had a car accident and they had to change. Your face gets a bit wider when you get older and it gets a bit, but it doesn't contort to the way that...
No.
I wish I could.
You certainly don't turn to Bruce Willis.
I would. Well, they had to give him a fake nose still. Joseph Gordon, they only played the younger version. They still had to give him a fucking nose job and contacts. I was like, how about you find someone who looks a little bit more like him? Yeah. There's enough actors out there. There's going to be some resemblance.
But there is a double-ended sword to that. Hayden, what's it? Why have I briefly forgotten his name? Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogies.
Yes.
The main reason they chose him apparently was because he bared a semblance to what the child actor of Anakin Skywalker would look like when he is that age.
Yeah, because they had to do a time jump. They couldn't use the same actor.
Exactly. So they did some kind of fancy thing to predict what he would look like, and they went for an actor that looked very similar to that. So that's great. But the trouble is, they picked someone with about as much stage presence as a pack of wet cardboard.
He's gotten good. I saw him.
I don't give a fuck if he's gotten good, Ben.
No,
he was a piece of shit in that.
Yeah, but he was in a film. I can't remember the name of it, but he played a guy who was having surgery, but he was under, but he was still conscious. He just couldn't move, and he was pretty good in that.
No, that's probably because he didn't have to move.
No, he did move.
So he could put more. Of his battery power from his robot power core into his actual emotional state. Yeah. You know?
But I think with the whole trying to get a younger version of the person and the older version of the person now, it would be probably easier just to get an actor wearing dots on their face, kid actor, and then just put a younger
little bit
version.
of CG reconstruction.
Yeah. Because, I remember the 90s films. They were terrible. Some of the fucking... Getting kids to play younger versions of the...
Yeah.
I think Indiana Jones. I mean, Temple of Doom. What's the last one they did? Sean Connery in it. That's not the last one.
Yeah. Are you talking about Crystal Skull?
No. Before that.
That Last Crusade.
Had River Phoenix in it. Played a younger version. All that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did close.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You need to find exact, rough-looking faces and everything.
Yeah. It is a very odd one. It's like, what is the best way to broach that? I mean, there's no doubt that, especially now, we do have the technology to reconstruct faces.
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus Christ, back in the Two Towers, they by hand did Gollum's face.
Yeah.
They mocapped his body, but they did not mocap his face at all. They used his face in the footage as reference and did it all by hand. And I know, and obviously that was like one of the major stepping stones for his career at the head of one of the biggest mocap studios in Britain and I believe in the world. Yeah, they're a pioneer in it.
Well, they're still, every time there's something involving a mocap suit, they're involved in some way.
I mean, Andy Serkis obviously played Gollum. He then played King Kong in Peter Jackson's King Kong. He plays Caesar in Planet of the Apes, the new ones.
He played Baloo.
Yeah, he did Baloo, and I think that was a brilliant Baloo, I've got to add.
I quite like that.
Say what you want about the Mowgli film, but I thought Baloo in that was really cool.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
This half-balding fucking bear.
Half-balding with this, bit of a slightly on the lip and all that. Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it.
Burn your sisters, you can. That's what you expect him to say. You can't imagine. It'll look terrifying to get into a fucking song with.
Yeah.
But then it's closer to the book. The book's not a
the book was savage. Book. Yeah, it was. I did quite enjoy that. I recommend it to anyone who watches it. But no, it's scary, really. What's the point in being an actor? I mean, hell, are we going to be replaced one day with CG versions of ourselves?
I don't think anyone's going to put the effort in.
That's true. I mean, I won't lie. Many times when conceiving of Braintatos long ago, and even now and stuff, I've thought it'd be really cool if we could either do a series, or obviously earlier on I thought maybe even the whole thing animated. Because then there'd be no limit to what we could do. But it's a combination of... I mean, I've got the tools to do it, and I've got a degree of know-how. But...
it's difficult. I know there's a lot of YouTubers...
And I can't draw for shit.
There's a lot of YouTubers that hire animators.
Yeah.
So they get their name out there, and it's like a compromise. They get their name out there, and it also helps the other person's channel. So
Yeah.
But I think we don't really know many people, and we've got so many. We have got ideas to do it. It's a frustrating thing. So it's a matter of, as well as doing our day-to-day jobs.
I'm quite pleased that we're able to do what we have already done. I mean, not just from. I mean, there are some that are more complicated than others. Like, for instance, Super Strain, and all that lightning, all that dust, all that carnage and stuff. But then you got Thumb War. The only visual effect in Thumb War was just a bit of a green screening. But it had just as much impact as all these insane compositing effects and lighting alterations and all these things I had to do for Super Strain.
The good thing about Thumb War was we could actually look at the screen of what we were doing. It almost like puppetry, but with no puppets. It's just what puppets look like with no thumbs. It's like hands fucking wrestling with each other. So, and that was mostly improv, folks. I'd like to add, we did mostly improvise that, didn't we?
Yeah. Like the scene between the two. I know it was 2 separate camera shots, but most of the audio was from one of the shots, and I cut them together, and it just happened to work.
Plus that little salute, the little salute he does at the end. That was a little bit hard because you had to try and lift your finger up and try and.
I swear I heard your finger crack when you did it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but weirdly, when I do it right now, it isn't it's like anyone at home who's trying this. It isn't so much the thumb itself or the finger; it's your little finger, the bone in your hand that connects your little finger. That's the one that strains. It's really, really bizarre. But no, I do.
What was the most complicated? I think
the most complicated we've done. I think ultimately, when it comes to filming, it was probably
as of yet.
It's probably the Nerf War one.
Yeah.
Chips and Fish. I actually forgot the name.
That was the working title, Nerf.
Yeah, it was Nerf War. Was the working title.
The idea is we have to do at least one Nerf battle thing.
Yeah, and we will do another. We will do another soon, because I've got some bigger, badder toys now, I say, looking around the corner. There's a Nerf minigun, the Nerf Titan CS50, just sat there in the corner.
Oh, and if anyone's any of the 4 people that listen to this are, and if they're still listening, well done.
Yeah.
I think the Stoic Fables, we'll be adding another one.
Yes, we did very much enjoy Stoic Fable, and performing it, writing it, all that jazz, being directed by Ben.
It was nice being serious for once.
I know it's another side to Braintatos, because that was always the idea. I mean, obviously, when me and Ben met, we very quickly realised that we bounced off each other naturally, and that first, as I think anyone could agree, that always inevitably first comes off through comedy. It's a quick way to connect. But dramatically speaking, through drama, through other emotions, through sadness, through loss, all these things, we bounce off that way as well, through a creative sense. So it made sense that when we founded Braintatos, that it would inevitably, as we decided from the very beginning, right, Ben, that we do stuff. We don't just do comedy.
Yeah, I think our mantra is, at some point, don't take, and it goes in many different ways. We try not to take things too seriously.
Aye.
And even if we're doing something serious, the not so serious bit is the fact that it's been produced by a production company called Braintatos.
Yes.
So it's our way of going, no matter how, we could do an entire video based on something really dark and gritty and no humour whatsoever, with a lot of tension and angst
of which we have got several written.
Yes. But end of the day, you go, who did it? Braintatos. That's a fucking stupid name. Thank you very much. That's exactly the point.
Yes, exactly.
We're not going to change the name. We're not going to do anything silly like that. We're keeping the name to Braintatos no matter what we do. But
we're proud of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think we mentioned this first in the first podcast. It's a lot easier to do. It's a lot quicker and a lot easier for us to write humorous stuff, because it takes me ages to write.
To write drama
in depth and everything, because you've got to put stuff.
I need to try to sit down and write a drama for us at some point. I've just yet to get around to doing it. We spontaneously come up with comedies and shit.
We have still got I want to say we've got a few in the pipeline, but one of them is without going to spoil the details, but we have got a few that are in the middle of snipping and effects and all that.
Yeah.
One of them, we can tell you, was dead on arrival, which we'll probably have to redo again.
Oh, man.
Because we went through the footage, you went, oh, God.
Are you talking about one of the first ones we ever did, and then we redid it, and then we realised we may have to redo it again?
That we got 2 of that case then. There's that one and another one.
Yeah.
So frustrating not seeing it. We shouldn't have this conversation on the podcast, because they ain't got a clue what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
But this is how we work, basically. But no, we know we've been away. We're not one of those high-end channels that constantly make videos every 5 fucking minutes and pop
We're
them
two
up.
working lads.
Yeah, so
we're working lads.
December was never going to happen. We both kind of hunkered down into work because we needed the money.
Work wanted us.
But yeah, we'll come back into it. We ain't going anywhere. We ain't got anywhere else to be.
Oh no! Hey.
So yeah, we just thought we'll make this an extra long one.
Yeah,
a lot of shit.
We had a lot to say about Star Wars. We knew it would be a long one because, man, it's no. Stop me, Ben.
No.
Stop
the
me.
only other Star Wars thing I will say is that it's nice to know that EA have made a game that hasn't required having to pay for stuff yet.
I have played it. Are you talking about
Fallen Order?
I've played it. Have you played it?
No, because I've been waiting for the fuck up, but everyone's going, this is fine.
It's genuinely good. I played through it and I was like, what? I feel like it's mid 2000s again. It's like, what's happened here? This is so bizarre. And I found myself thoroughly enjoying it. And there was a few. I mean, there was. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but there was one thing that was spoiled for me by the controls menu.
Oh,
and I was like, I'll be able to do that. Oh man, I wish I didn't know. Because I mean, when I finally got to that point, and then the thing was narratively revealed, it was still awesome.
Yeah.
But I wish I didn't know from the offset, and the very end was very awesome as well. I mean, do you want me to tell you the very, very end? It doesn't actually reveal anything to do with the story.
I don't want to know anything.
Oh man, I want to talk to someone about this because
next podcast.
Next podcast. But
In about another year from now.
oh yeah. Now you've got me piped up to talk about it. Fine.
Talk about games. Just,
put it in a box. Right, it's gone. Yeah.
I got my other half very lovingly gave me a VR.
Yes, a PSVR.
PSVR.
Yes.
And with it, I got Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
And I love and fucking hate that game.
Absolutely.
It made me jump so many fucking times. It's really fucking good. I mean, it's got the classic, if you calming typewriter. Well, it's not a typewriter; it's a recording machine in this one.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's like they've gone back. Like they got a bit too silly.
Yeah.
And then they went back to. I know they're remaking them all now.
Yeah.
Almost like they're trying to make it up by making the more popular games more streamlined, new effects, and slightly different. I think they altered the storyline a little bit.
It does feel disjointed from the others, but when I put out of my mind the fact that it's a mainline Resident Evil, I'm all right with it.
But Resident Evil 7 is...
Yeah, I've never played it in VR.
It's really good.
Yeah. Have you tried it out of VR yet?
I did. I initially played it without it.
Yeah.
And I thought...
And you were like...
No, I got the VR. I can't take the piss and play the entire... Because she got it with it.
Yeah.
I can't go, this is brilliant. Did you play on the VR? No. So that's why I fucking got you the VR, you dickhead. So... I'm playing it through the VR. I hate the game. That's a compliment. It makes me jump.
Well, it's horror. It's meant to make you feel horrified.
Yeah.
It's in the title.
The annoying thing is you have to keep your health thing... Because you can't, in the games, you can only see the character like limp and they show...
Or you have a health bar on screen. Yeah.
No, this is like a little...
Oh, this is an immersive one,
Well, I've got to look right round because it lifts the wrist up and I've got to twist my head right round.
Oh, you've got to look away from the action.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, for a VR, it was...
Well, horror in VR is a whole other level.
I hate it.
I mean, I remember when you first tried VR when I put you on the Vive.
Ugh.
And oh man,
it's like your left side of the brain going arguing with the right side of the brain.
Yeah,
it's going. I'm on a big. What was it? Walk the plank.
Oh yeah, the plank experience. Yeah, Rich's plank experience.
You know you're not on some 150-story building. You know you're in your mate's living room,
but you are.
But you're not. You're on a plank, 150 stories up. When you fall off, you don't. When you told me to step off.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck off! I ain't stepping off. No, step off. And you didn't. And you nudged me to the side.
Yeah, I pushed you.
You fall in real time.
Yeah.
It's not like a slow gradually. You get quicker. You're looking at the ground, and when you do land,
you feel the G forces.
Yeah, you feel your brain makes you feel the G's.
I mean, the moment you hit the floor, your legs just buckle because bang.
Yeah.
I mean. Once you've done it long enough, you don't get it anymore.
I know.
But,
the amount of times I've played it since then.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I played that some ninja cyborg game.
Oh, Sirento, I believe.
There's that gigantic
and you do the jump. Yeah.
Yeah, I fell over.
Yeah, I remember.
And now, once if you've been on it long enough, you do get used to it. But
yeah. Sad day. I broke one of my Vive controllers last week, so I can't Vive at all now. And they released an update for the Star Wars mod for Blade and Sorcery right when I broke it. So
bastard.
I know. So I still can't play this new update. But that's by the by. I love Blade and Sorcery because I've got experience in actual sword fighting, and it's the only game I've ever encountered where I can actually incorporate my abilities as a sword fighter in real life in that game. Although, Jesus, I really had to teach myself not to kick.
You can't kick.
You can.
Get body tracking now.
Oh, but I don't have any body trackers, Ben. So all I do is end up kicking the sofa and hurting my foot.
They need to sort out their male to female enemy ratio, though, because if it does come across as very women-hating game.
Yeah, I checked it. It was 50-50. Sometimes I have to crank it so it's more males because for some reason I'm killing so many chicks.
Well,
I don't know. It's like the Vive thinks I've got this problem with women. I've no problem with anybody.
When I went on it, and you said you're going to really like this, because there's a game, that Gorn game.
Oh yeah, Gorn.
We played that first.
That was our first ever foray into fighting in VR.
It brings psychopath.
Yeah.
Anyway, playing that Blade and Sorcery, I'm playing it along. I go, Ross, have you just got all female? No. Did the person have a bad breakup or something, or is he just a bit misogynistic? No. I've killed
dozens of women.
40 women in a row. Not one bloke showed up yet.
Yeah, I think there was like 2 or 3 blokes, and they all had long hair.
Yeah.
So I think maybe there was points to be made. Oh, it was a bit fishy. It was a bit fishy, that one.
It's a shame VR's not spiking as much as they thought it would, because there is a lot of fun in playing VR.
It's brilliant. There's all kinds of different things you could do on it. I mean, even some of my software now has either through plugins or official integration is VR modes where you can actually sculpt things in 3D and walk around your model and then render them in 3D, and then if you have a 3D printer you can print them out. I know they're doing that now for a lot of really high-end car designs where they have colossal VR rooms, like 10 feet squared. Okay. And they're literally designing the cars in VR, walking around it, and that sounds so awesome.
It does.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, again, 3D printing bits of them. It's brilliant. Excuse me.
Right.
I think we've said all we need to say.
I think we've said everything we need to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna put this to a close now.
Agreed.
And probably get started on some other Braintatos related stuff.
Indeed.
Which we can't say because we're teasers.
You little tease. But yes, indeed, we'll be producing more things.
Yeah. Once again, we're here. We're not going anywhere. We just haven't got this kind of time or money that a lot of these other channels have got, which they can just squeeze out videos every 5 minutes.
Man, I wish I could squeeze out a video every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll help our algorithm out.
Yeah, it would help the algorithm out. Get a bit of lube on there. Help squeeze it out.
Courtesy spit.
And all that jazz. What are you rubbing? Oh, your legs. Okay. Yeah. But no, we look forward to showing you more stuff, don't we, Ben?
Yeah, you'll be hearing us more often. Promise.
I agree.
That's how enthusiastic we are here at Braintatos.
Enthusiasm literally pours from me.
If I've got 5 minutes.
Oh God, agreed. Yes, no, we will be trying our best. We look forward to it, to showing you more of what we have got in store. So yes, in the meantime, you all take care. Hope your ear holes don't hurt too much, and won't see you soon. Maybe you'll see us. Love you all. Thumbs up.
Bye bye.
Bye.